Greetings. I saw a post on TikTok which was actually talking about an environmental condition or period which is called El-Nino. Now, this post was suggesting to say South Africa were going to have a bad drought in the year of 2026 and 27 due to El-Nino. Now, let me explain this so that you don't get scared as a South African because of what scientists and people who are doing weather forecast are saying to us in terms of this environmental condition. I'll start by saying, what is La Nina or El Nino? It is an environmental pressure which forces the ground or the environment to be actually cooler, whereby we normally get high rainfall or above average. That is La Nina year. Now, El Nino, El Nino, that is when the environmental pressure causes the environment or the ground to be warmer because there is no rain. It actually leads to drought. And sometimes there is shortage of food. Now, this situation, El Nino and La Nino, normally come every 7 to 10 years. Now, when it comes to every 7 to 10 years, what basically is happening is that if the rain has been raining for the past 7 years or 10 years, then the following 10 years, 7 to 10 years, it's a period of drought. But it does not necessarily mean dry zero rain. It just means the rain will be below average or below what is required. Now, the post was saying that 2026 and 2027 we will experience El Nino, a period of drought. No, let me break it down. Let me explain. It does not mean in 2026-27 we will experience a period of drought. They are talking of the financial year or the planting season of 2026-27. Meaning people should not be afraid. E.g., 2026, we are already halfway. We are already sitting in May. And winter anyway, it's around the corner, and it is expected that in winter we don't get much rain. And as much as we talk about El Nino that will get drought, already South Africa, we've had quite a lot of rain. Which means as much as we talk about La Nina with a high rain that we had, but also our ground is wet and cooler. Now, what does this tell us? We are actually going into winter, and winter will actually keep the ground cooler once more because we have had a lot of rain. So already, because we are in May, there's May, June, 2 months gone for winter. Then we are left with about 4 months, which is August, September, October, November, December, 5 months to complete the year. And in 5 months, we cannot say there won't be rain. There will be. But however, this rain will affect mostly the people that have to plant because they still need that rain in the next year, meaning in this financial year 2026-27, but it does not necessarily mean in May, June, July. People misunderstand this 2026. It means when they have to plant, the ground might be dry. Yes, it will affect those who are planting. Definitely next year, because why? La Nino, meaning more rain, has completed its cycle this year, and it was supposed to complete its cycle early this year. So it is projected that there will be less rain. But many people bring it as if there won't be rain. There will be rain, but that rain will not be enough to cool off the ground, will not be enough to assist the plants to grow. And remember, even with that analysis, assumption, and stats, it does not mean that is final. It can still go, we can still have rain in 2026-27. So the short and the fall is that understand that when they talk about El Nino and La Nino, it does not necessarily mean, or when they say a period of drought, it means there won't be water, all the dams will be empty. No. All it means is that when we have a shortage, they will go below level. And remember something, in terms of South Africa, I'm talking of South Africa. South Africa specifically, water shortage has never impacted us like most African countries. In terms of the minimum rain or average, we did get throughout the period. Even though there is El-Nino shortage of rain, not everyone felt it. Yes, in terms of the supplier, it will have an impact on the price of products because the producers will have less rain. That means there will be shortage of plants, whereby the prices will be expensive because there will be competitiveness in the market because of a short supply of product. But why am I doing this post? I'm trying to say, when we talk of El Nino and La Nino, we should understand that El Nino, it's an environmental pressure that affects the environment to be warmer because there will be a shortage of water to cool the environment off and to feed to the plants. And La Nino, this is the period where there was a lot of rain, for those who don't know, whereby there's a high pressure which affects the land to be cooler, meaning there's a lot of rain coming which feed into the plants and there's a lot of supply. But yeah, I want to say in closure, let's not be scared of this El Nino and La Nino. People say it as if it's gonna be a bomb. I mean, El Nino, shortage of rain, has always been there in the past. La Nina has always been there in the past. It's just a cycle. And the reality is that we will survive. Though there will be some sectors like agriculture that will take a knock, which will have obviously a pressure in our pockets. So meaning every 10 years to knowledge many, this El Nino, La Nino, okay, it is normal. La Nino, high rainfall period. El Nino, low rainfall period. But when they say El Nino, many are presenting it as if there won't be no rain, we'll have drought, we can't eat, everything will be expensive. No. The consumer price index, yes, it will slightly be affected. I agree with that. The DP, domestic production, will be affected, especially the agricultural one. That is well understood. But I want to contain the fact that it does not mean that we will be dying with no survival as people are projecting it. That is not the case. Yes, of course, it is something that's coming, and it is also not a guarantee that this La Nina will start this year. And definitely my take is that La Nina will not start this year. We're already 6 months down the line. We've got 2 months for winter. We're already left with 4 months. It will only, if it doesn't rain, it will only be a challenge for those that prepare the land. But generally, the streams will still have water. The dams will still have water for this year. So I'm saying 2026 to a normal citizen, it will not really be an impact unless in 2027. And 2027 meaning those who planted, obviously they will not be getting enough water and the produced product will be less. That will hit the consumer pocket. So don't worry. It is a cycle of 7 to 10 years. It is normal. La Nino, high rainfall. El Nino, below rainfall. But that does not necessarily mean zero rainfall. I just want to acknowledge those people who are not into environmental stuff, who are not into weather stuff, that don't be, they mustn't shake you with this word El Nino, La Nino. We have to understand it from this narrative of what is the impact, when is it coming, why is it coming, and what is the cause.